49ers faithful. Today we have a deep dive into everything you need to know as the San Francisco 49ers prepare to take on the Seahawks in what promises to be a high-stakes, electrifying matchup. As the #1 seed in the NFC and on the cusp of securing home field advantage, every detail matters, especially when it comes to injuries and player availability. Starting off with some big updates, the future Hall of Fame left tackle, Trent Williams, has been listed as questionable for Saturday night's game due to the hamstring injury he suffered on the opening play of the game against the Chicago Bears. On that play, Brock Purdy threw an interception that was returned for a pick six, and Williams was immediately seen favoring his leg as he tried to stop T.J. Edwards from reaching the end zone. It was a testament to his commitment that even in that moment he attempted to make the tackle, but the injury made it clear that playing through it would be nearly impossible. As an older player with a soft tissue injury, especially at the left tackle position, his participation is uncertain, though there's a positive note as he has made encouraging progress throughout the week. Head coach Kyle Shanahan has highlighted that Williams is moving well and working to get ready, but the Niners also have a capable option in Austin Pleasants if Williams can't suit up. Pleasants showed impressive form against the Bears, contributing to a high-powered offense that passed for over 300 yards and ran for more than 100 yards, resulting in a 42-point performance. However, the Seahawks defense presents a far greater challenge. So, if Pleasant starts, he will face one of the league's more sophisticated defensive schemes designed to test him extensively, particularly as he protects Brock Purdy's blind side. Trent Williams' dominance has not waned, even at 37 years old. His overall PFF grade this season stands at 91.5, ranking third among all tackles, with a pass-blocking grade of 79.9 and an astonishing run-blocking grade of 92.8, second in the NFL. Even with some decline in durability, his presence on the field remains a critical asset for San Francisco. He has been pivotal in protecting the quarterback, opening lanes for the running game, and setting a cultural tone in the locker room as a team captain and veteran leader. The numbers tell a story of a player who is still impacting games profoundly, despite 4 sacks allowed for penalties, 8 hits allowed, and 32 pressures over the season. Williams continues to dominate physically, executing powerful blocks, moving efficiently in space, and contributing in ways that go beyond traditional statistics. Meanwhile, the team's depth at tight end has become increasingly important. George Kittle, the cornerstone of the Niners' offense, has been listed as questionable but is expected to play, which is crucial given his role both as a pass catcher and as a blocker in the running game. The emergence of Jake Tons, who has developed into a legitimate NFL-caliber tight end, provides a valuable backup option, yet no player can replace Kittle's combination of size, skill, and game-changing ability. Kittle's impact over the last 6 games before injury has been phenomenal, with 40 catches for 199 yards and 5 touchdowns, highlighting just how integral he is to San Francisco's offensive efficiency. His ability to break tackles and gain yards after contact makes him a threat not only as a receiver, but also as a key piece in the running game, especially when paired with innovative schemes involving Kyle Juszczyk as a primary blocker. The dynamic created by Kittle and the team's versatile backfield options adds a layer of complexity to the offense that defenses must respect. Ricky Seals-Jones also enters this matchup as somewhat of a question mark due to lingering injuries, though his recent performance against Chicago demonstrated toughness and the ability to execute at a high level despite physical setbacks. His route running, timing, and determination to fight through pain highlight the resilience of this Niners roster. Every player stepping onto the field this week will need to contribute, as Seattle's defense is formidable, and the conditions might add another variable to the contest, with rain potentially influencing gameplay on Saturday night. Kyle Shanahan, however, approaches this game with the mindset of a playoff-level contest. While technically Week 18 may not be labeled a postseason game, Shanahan recognizes the stakes. Winning secures the first-round bye, allows key players to rest, and positions the team for a deeper run in the NFC. The importance of victory extends beyond the immediate result, impacting mental preparation, strategic planning, and physical readiness for the divisional round and potentially the NFC Championship. With a season full of adversity, including injuries to stars like Nick Bosa and Fred Warner, the Niners have exceeded expectations, integrating young players and new defensive pieces into a cohesive unit that still has a chance to win 13 games and control its destiny heading into Super Bowl 60. This blend of resilience, talent, and strategic execution makes every game feel pivotal, and the Seahawks matchup carries the weight of a storied rivalry intensified by recent history. San Francisco has dominated Seattle in 7 of the last 8 meetings, yet the intensity remains high as the legacy of past matchups, including the Legion of Boom era, keeps the competitive fire alive. The evolution of this rivalry adds layers to the narrative of the season, as San Francisco has flipped the script from periods of Seattle dominance to its current supremacy in head-to-head contests. The environment in Santa Clara, the significance of home field advantage, and the opportunity to rest and prepare critical players all converge to create a charged atmosphere reminiscent of playoff intensity. Every snap, block, and route carries weight, not just in terms of the scoreboard, but in the broader context of team momentum, confidence, and the psychological edge heading into the postseason. As the Niners look to leverage their strengths, from elite pass protection to creative offensive schemes and a versatile, opportunistic roster, the focus will be on execution, adaptation, and seizing every chance to maintain dominance over a familiar rival. Fans can expect a high-energy game that tests depth, strategy, and resilience, setting the stage for a dramatic conclusion to an unforgettable regular season campaign. Now, looking ahead to the Seahawks matchup, it is impossible to ignore the strategic challenges San Francisco will face, especially with potential injuries affecting the offensive line and skill positions. If Trent Williams cannot suit up, the team will lean heavily on Austin Pleasance to protect Brock Purdy's blind side, and the Seahawks defensive coordinator, Mike Macdonald, will undoubtedly craft schemes aimed at testing him relentlessly. Pleasance has shown flashes of brilliance, but the level of competition this week is a significant step up from what the Bears presented. The Niners will need to execute flawlessly, particularly in pass protection, to prevent pressure that could disrupt the timing of Purdy's throws and open up opportunities for turnovers. The left tackle spot, historically a key position for controlling the edge and maintaining offensive balance, becomes even more critical in a game with playoff implications, even though it technically falls in Week 18. San Francisco's ability to adapt on the fly and adjust blocking assignments will be under the microscope, and the communication between quarterback and line will have to be precise to mitigate potential mismatches. Meanwhile, the health and participation of George Kittle cannot be overstated. As one of the most versatile tight ends in the league, his presence on the field impacts multiple facets of the game. Offensively, he is not just a receiver, but a cornerstone in the run game, creating lanes, executing blocks, and opening opportunities for backs like Christian McCaffrey to maximize yardage after contact. Kittle's chemistry with Brock Purdy, especially over the last season and into the playoffs, has been a defining element of the Niners' offensive identity. Even when limited or sidelined, the offense adjusts, but the absence of a player of his caliber significantly alters game plans, forcing coordinators to improvise and opponents to shift defensive priorities. Kittle's return this week, combined with strategic innovation from Kyle Shanahan, provides a critical boost, ensuring the Niners maintain versatility in their attack, while continuing to challenge Seattle in both the passing and running game. His ability to turn short passes into explosive plays, gain extra yardage after contact, and contribute to red zone efficiency gives San Francisco an edge that few other teams possess, even against one of the top defenses in the league. On the defensive side, the Niners will face a Seahawks team capable of exploiting any weaknesses, especially if the offensive line is not at full strength. Seattle's defense thrives on creating pressure, disguising coverages, and forcing quick decisions by the quarterback. This matchup will test the cohesion of San Francisco's offensive line and the adaptability of Purdy and his supporting cast. The Seahawks are experienced in capitalizing on defensive mismatches, and if the Niners are without key players like Williams or Kittle, the margin for error becomes razor thin. Rainy weather could further complicate the situation, limiting deep passing opportunities, emphasizing ball security, and making every yard gained in the running game more critical. The Niners will need to rely on strategic play calling, disciplined execution, and precise timing to maintain offensive efficiency and protect the football in potentially adverse conditions. Each series will demand focus and composure, as any lapse could quickly swing momentum towards Seattle, especially in a game with the feel and intensity of a playoff contest. Beyond the tactical elements, the psychological and cultural aspects of this matchup are significant. San Francisco has cultivated a team identity rooted in resilience, accountability, and leadership, with players like Trent Williams and George Kittle setting a standard for performance and preparation. Younger players, new contributors, and rotational pieces have stepped up all season, reinforcing the team's depth and collective determination. The experience of competing in high-pressure games, coupled with the opportunity to secure home field advantage and a first-round bye, has created a unique atmosphere around this contest. Every player understands the stakes. The outcome impacts not only the immediate playoff positioning, but also the strategic rest and preparation available for future postseason rounds. For fans, the palpable energy mirrors that of an actual playoff game, as the Niners-Seahawks rivalry brings history, pride, and intensity into every snap. Even with San Francisco having dominated recent matchups, the competitive edge, adrenaline, and preparation reflect the mindset of teams approaching a do-or-die scenario, where focus, discipline, and execution are paramount. Another critical factor in this matchup is the performance of secondary players and backups. Austin Pleasance stepping in at left tackle, Jake Tuns providing depth at tight end, and players like Kyle Juszczyk taking on expanded roles as blockers all exemplify how the Niners have constructed a roster capable of absorbing adversity. Depth is tested most severely in games of this magnitude, where defensive pressure, weather conditions, and opponent scheming create scenarios that demand adaptability and high-level execution. San Francisco's ability to maintain offensive efficiency, establish a running game, and protect the quarterback under pressure will determine the outcome as much as talent or star power. The Seahawks' front seven is relentless, and their secondary is opportunistic, which means even small errors can lead to turnovers or momentum-shifting plays. The coaching staff's ability to anticipate, adjust, and counteract Seattle's defensive strategies will be critical, as will the players' discipline and commitment to executing the game plan under intense pressure. But before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to 49ers Zone and hit the like button on this video. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the San Francisco 49ers. And don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. Speculation is heating up in the NFL as whispers suggest that Joey Bosa could be on the move, potentially landing with the San Francisco 49ers. If this were to happen, it would represent a seismic shift for the 49ers' defensive line, immediately bolstering their pass rush and adding a feared presence against opposing quarterbacks. Bosa, widely regarded as one of the premier edge rushers in the league, brings a combination of speed, power, and football intelligence that could transform San Francisco's defensive front almost overnight. Sources close to the situation hint that the 49ers front office has been actively exploring ways to upgrade their pass rush, and Bosa's name has repeatedly surfaced in those discussions. The idea of pairing him with the already formidable talent on the 49ers' defensive line has sparked excitement among fans and analysts alike, with many envisioning a defense that could dominate games through sheer pressure and disruption. Bosa's ability to consistently win one-on-one matchups would alleviate some of the pressure on the team's linebackers and secondary, creating more opportunities for turnovers and sacks. Of course, no official confirmation has emerged, and the logistics of a potential trade or signing remain uncertain. There are always questions about cap space, draft picks, and team chemistry, but the mere possibility of Bosa joining San Francisco has set social media ablaze. Fans are already imagining highlight reels of Bosa wreaking havoc in the backfield, driving opposing quarterbacks into hurried decisions, and giving the 49ers an edge in critical moments. Analysts point out that Bosa's presence could also influence game planning across the league, forcing offenses to adjust their strategies and double-team him, potentially opening up opportunities elsewhere for the 49ers defense. While speculation continues to swirl, the consensus is clear. Joey Bosa landing in San Francisco would be a game-changing addition. It's the kind of move that could redefine the 49ers' defensive identity and make them an even more formidable contender. Until any confirmation comes from team sources, this remains a tantalizing rumor, one that fans are eagerly dissecting, imagining, and debating with every hypothetical scenario that comes to light. If it happens, the impact would be immediate and electrifying. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the San Francisco 49ers, make sure to subscribe to 49ers Zone and give this video a like. We always look forward to hearing your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.